I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
For weeks, Caitlin Clark took hit after hit on the court. No flagrant calls, no protection, and absolutely no action from the league. The WNBA stayed silent while its most valuable asset got clobbered on national television. But that silence didn't last. It wasn't the WNBA that finally spoke up, it was the NBA. And not just fringe voices. We're talking LeBron James, Steph Curry, Luka Dončić, Tyrese Haliburton, Trae Young. One by one, NBA stars broke ranks and called out what the WNBA wouldn't. They weren't reading PR-approved lines, they were speaking from the gut. Steph wasn't just complimenting Caitlin's game, he was warning the league. LeBron didn't drop a casual soundbite, he gave her legacy-level praise. And Luca, he didn't even blink. Caitlin Clark, he said without hesitation, these weren't endorsements, these were moments of reckoning. If you believe Caitlin Clark deserves protection, respect, and a fair shot in this league, hit that like button, subscribe to Spotlight WNBA, and let's get into what really happened when the NBA stepped in. When Pascal Siakam was asked which player gets the most love in basketball right now, nobody expected him to bring up Caitlin Clark. He's a champion, an all-star, teammates with Tyrese Haliburton, one of the flashiest point guards in the NBA. But out of nowhere, Pascal said this, "Oh man, no, Caitlin, yeah, she's a beast, and they love her, so I'd probably say Caitlin Clark. I love Tyrese, but she's on another level in terms of the love she's getting." That's not just a compliment, that's an awakening. Siakam wasn't comparing her to WNBA players, he was comparing her to his own NBA teammate. He didn't have to say her name, but he did. And that right there, that's respect from the inside. Caitlin Clark has broken through the wall that separates leagues. And Pascal made it clear this isn't just a hot streak, it's a movement.
Yeah, Caitlin's amazing. Super amazing. She's a great player. Having her be courtside and watching our games is awesome. We see the excitement that she has on the side. But just like she's doing that, we do the same. Like when they're playing, like it's so much, it's a joy to watch.
Obi Toppin isn't known for delivering headline quotes, but when he was asked about Caitlin Clark, something changed. His tone got softer, more serious. He said, "Yeah, Caitlin's amazing, super amazing. She's a great player. Having her courtside watching our games is awesome. And just like she does that for us, we do the same when they play. It's a joy to watch. No flash, no filters, just respect, and more importantly, parity." Obi isn't looking down on the WNBA. He's watching Caitlin Clark like a peer. The same way NBA guys celebrate their stars, he's celebrating hers. That kind of mutual appreciation, it's rare, and it matters, because when NBA players start acting like fans, you know something real is happening.
She's, I think for me, getting to actually spend time around her, be around her, get to know her personally, she's just an amazing person, an amazing player. She deals with a lot. There's a lot of rhetoric behind her that she really has no control over, and I think that the way she handles that is just amazing. Like, I think when it comes to the game of basketball, like, she's probably top 5 most famous people that are playing right now, just in general. That includes our league as well.
Tyrese Haliburton could have taken the easy route, toss a compliment, keep it light, but instead he spoke from experience. As someone who shares a city with Caitlin, he's watched her grind through everything. And when he talks about her, the words carry weight. She deals with a lot of rhetoric behind her that she really has no control over, and the way she handles that is just amazing. I think she's probably top 5 most famous basketball players playing right now, period. Top 5, not top 5 women's players, not top 5 rookies, top 5 most famous players. Full stop. Tyrese didn't have to say that, but he did. And he didn't just defend her game. He defended her humanity, the way she handles hate, the grace under pressure, the way she shoulders a movement that's way bigger than basketball. That's not PR, that's proximity, that's someone who's been there.
Because everybody is looking for you to say anything, and they're gonna splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. And I think for her, the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. They flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right.
When LeBron speaks, the world listens. And when he spoke about Caitlin Clark, he wasn't just adding commentary, he was redefining what's at stake. The one thing I love that she's bringing to her sport more people want to watch. They had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. They flew private. That should be celebrated. LeBron wasn't just clapping from the sidelines. He was legitimizing what Clark's doing. He knows what it's like to be the reason everything changes, to be the player who forces a league to evolve. And in Caitlin Clark, he sees someone doing just that, changing not just the scoreboard, but the infrastructure. She didn't just earn his fandom, she earned his respect.
You were hype about Steph and Sabrina. I know that you have spoken about Caitlin Clark. You're a big Caitlin Clark fan.
Oh, yeah.
She, of course, is an excellent shooter. Would you ever do like a Caitlin Trey three-point contest at All-Star?
Of course I would. I've gotten to talk to her too throughout her college years. We're the only two people that ever led college in points and assists. That's a crazy stat. I'd have to definitely practice a lot more than I have for these previous three-point competitions. Nah, I'd be ready for sure. I'd do it.
Trae Young is never shy. Known for launching bombs from the logo, he thrives on swagger. So when asked if he'd face Caitlin Clark in a three-point shootout at All-Star Weekend, he didn't hesitate. Of course I would. We're the only two people who ever led college in points and assists. That's crazy. I definitely need to practice more, but I'd do it. Let that sink in. Only two players in NCAA history, male or female, have ever led the nation in both scoring and assists. Trey and Caitlin, and he's not pretending he'd win. He's admitting he'd need to train. That's the ultimate form of respect, not a gimmick, not condescending, just two hoopers recognizing greatness in each other.
You gotta put it in perspective, right? These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's gonna be girls that are offended by that.
Paul George didn't come in with fake praise or sugar-coated opinions. He zoomed out and gave the most honest take of anyone. These girls have been grinding to grow the game. Then this girl comes from college and becomes the face of the league instantly. There's going to be players offended by that. He didn't blame Clark. He didn't deny her greatness. He just called out the uncomfortable truth. The WNBA veterans fought for everything. Charter flights, sponsorships, airtime. Caitlin Clark walks in and overnight becomes the face of the league. That stings. It's not jealousy, it's displacement. Paul George wasn't excusing the backlash, he was explaining it. And that's a perspective we need to hear.
Who's your favorite women's basketball player?
Caitlin Clark.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Paige Buchers?
No, she's okay. I didn't see her playing in the women's NBA, so.
Luca was asked a simple question. Who's your favorite women's basketball player? No hesitation, no filters, just Caitlin Clark. When pushed about Paige Buchers, Luca shrugged and said, she's okay. Haven't seen her in the WNBA. That's not shade, that's standards. Luca is all about pro-level performance. Caitlin's doing it right now. Not hype, not college, nostalgia. She's delivering under pressure, taking hits, and still showing up. Real recognizes real, and Luca made it clear. In his eyes, Clark's already passed the test.
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. And then her just confidence. You can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair. Like, she's a performer.
Steph had seen enough. The hard fouls, the missed calls, the blatant targeting, and he finally broke his silence. I'm sick of watching Caitlin get attacked. If the league doesn't protect her, things are going to get ugly. That wasn't a tweet. That was a warning. When Steph speaks, it's calculated, and he didn't stop there. He broke down her game with the precision only he could offer. Her release time, pretty much identical to mine. The range, the confidence, the flair, she's a performer, the total package. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter in NBA history, just said Caitlin Clark's release is identical to his. That's not media fluff. That's a passing of the torch, and when he calls you a total package, it's not just about shot mechanics, it's about legacy. Asked to name his favorite female athlete, Durant said one name, Angel Reese. No hesitation, no nuance, just a deliberate choice. And let's be honest, this wasn't accidental. He knows the media landscape. He knows what Clark's done for the league, and yet he chose her loudest media rival. That's not a shout-out, that's a statement. Durant's too smart for this to be random. It was a subtle jab, a power play, and it echoed the exact kind of resistance Clark has been dealing with all season long. When NBA stars start speaking this openly, it means something real is happening. This isn't a media moment, it's a movement. Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player. She's the epicenter of a cultural shift. She's forcing conversations, she's creating friction, and she's making the league uncomfortable in the best possible way. Pascal Siakam put her above his own teammate. Steph Curry saw himself in her game. LeBron James praised the milestones she's forcing into existence. Tyrese called her top 5 most famous in all of basketball. Luca didn't even blink. Trey wants a shootout. Obi grinned like a fanboy. Paul George gave her respect and gave the vets grace. But then you had Kevin Durant going full opposite. The NBA isn't really split on Clark's impact, but there are detractors. And that's the point, because true greatness doesn't inspire silence. It sparks reactions. Caitlin Clark is doing things no one has ever done in this league. She's drawing NBA-sized crowds. She's taking the hits. She's earning the hate and the love that only the greats receive. This isn't hype. This is legacy. And the scariest part? She's just getting started. So if you believe Caitlin Clark is changing the game forever, drop a comment below. She's him. And don't forget, like this video and subscribe to Spotlight WNBA. We've got much more coming.